But next is Business Week interview segment. Enjoy it. Now, late Chief MKO was a great businessman, well known internationally and nationally, and his business interests spanned agriculture, aviation, telecommunications, oil and gas, and the capital markets. I should tell you that between 1991 and 1994, he sat on the Council of the Nigerian Stock Exchange as a president. And I have here my guest who was a co-council member and indeed an investment advisor to Chief MKO Abiola, Chief Samuel Olayomi. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Efyong.
Chief Abiola, we knew him to be a businessman and you were very close to him. What character of a businessman did you find in him?
He was a very open businessman. Very interesting. When he's discussing with you, he discusses with his whole heart. He tells you everything he wants to hear. And not only that, he goes a long way to actually educate you about what he is doing and to let you know that with life, there's nothing impossible.
All right. So now let's look at his contribution to the Nigerian capital market, especially the stock exchange where he was president of council.
Chief MKO Abiola brought life and sense of direction into the Council of the Stock Exchange. He met me on the council in 1991. And when he came, he brought so much life that we had that courage that whatever we have been trying to do in the past, which we couldn't do, that MKO Abiola was there to direct us, to back us up, which he did. In fact, the fight between the Security and Exchange Commission and the Nigerian Stock Exchange then was his handwork that made us to have victory, in the sense that Chief Mr. Kamioko, who was then the Security and Exchange Commission Chief Executive then, was actually domineering the capital market and especially the Nigerian Stock Exchange. He wasn't allowing us to have anything to. We were just like children in his business circuit. But MKO Abiola came and brought his sanity into that issue, in the sense that he was able to make the Nigerian Stock Exchange to be represented on the Council of the Security and Exchange Commission. And not only that, he brought some changes which eventually led to the removal of MKO Kamioko after whatever the period by the next president to him.
Abiola had great business empire, if we say so. But unfortunately, looking around, we do not see any of those businesses, in activity now. So what is worrying many of us is that he was here at the stock exchange and he knew about the benefits of a company being quoted on the exchange, that it will outlive the owner. So why was none of his business quoted on the exchange?
I think it was circumstantial. It's true, when he came to the stock exchange, he never felt that he needed anybody's money. He felt he was rich enough to do whatever he wanted to do. And so when the issue was proposed to him that he should get his companies listed on the stock market, he said, I needed nobody's money. So he felt that he never needed anybody's money, but after some persuasion, he discovered that, well, maybe for futuristic purposes, at least when he is no more, at least his children will inherit whatever is on the ground. He became persuaded. And we started talking. And the Concorde airline then was to come to the line, was to be listed on the stock market. We were thinking about the Abiola bookshop too. And obviously, for information, he had very substantial interest in Volkswagen Nigerian PLC then. And we were trying to get it listed, as at that time it was dormant. And we were thinking of reactivating it, especially technically, bringing some technical partners that can reactivate, and he will put the money, get it packaged and listed on the stock market. We were all working on this. And some other thing that would have been listed, but unfortunately, he became interested in politics.
So now, we were talking about Abiola's empires. I want to find out, was it that this attempt to bring some of his businesses to be quoted on the exchange came, much later or too late?
I think circumstantially it came too late. Came too late in the sense that if it were a thing that had started right from when he came in 1991, we have gone deeper. But it took a long time to persuade him to be able to understand that it's not only him he should be thinking about when talking of business. He should be thinking of what will he leave behind. And so it is this question of the legend that will be left behind that made him persuaded to say, okay, let's try it. Let's try it. And he actually gave the go-ahead. And what mattered, therefore, was to gather the necessary information and move ahead.
Chief MKO was a Pan-Africanist. You know, did you find him trying to do great things outside of Nigerian shores? I mean, in terms of business, which country was he actually interested in, you know, investing and doing business big?
Thank you, Effiong, for bringing this question. I think I want to start by saying that if you look at the book, we went with him to Ivory Coast to launch, Reparation. In that his book, Reparation, he spelled out everything he intended to do. I'm talking of asking the foreigners to bring back, to pay us back whatever they have taken from us, from the colonial days. He spelled it out. All you need to do is get a copy of that book, Reparation, written by Abiola himself. He's told everything, his life story, and what he intends to do. The amount of money, the human being wasted, and everything is stated there. I have a copy of that book. And so if you look at that book, you'll be able to understand where he was going. And what am I therefore trying to say? That MKO Abiola was a solution that was not allowed to manifest in Nigeria. It's a very sorrowful issue. Very sorrowful and regrettable. He had a plan that would have made him to devote his time, his resources, his life, and everything concerning him to what? To revamp this country and make Nigeria a great country. And in fairness to pursue that, he had an intention to, he was asking that when he was talking and said that these expatriates, they have exploited us so much and we don't know what to do. And I say, even see what is happening in South Africa. I say, in South Africa, sir, you can control South Africa by proxy. He said, he used to call me Chief Alagbada. He said, Chief Alagbada, what do I do? I said, what we need to do is to buy into the shares. We travel down to South Africa there, find out what is happening, what is the minimum, what is the maximum an individual can buy, see what we can do at whatever the price, buy those shares in meaningful, eminent companies over there. Take those shares and be represented on their boards. And from there, you can control the economy in that place. He says, it's true. That makes some sense. So what do we do? I said, well, if you want a plan for that, I'll let you have a plan, sir.
So did he try that?
We did. We started working. We started working. We were thinking about 5 companies over there until he went into politics, and that took so much of his time. Several times I go to his house, he said, hey, SB, I'm coming. I know we have a serious matter on ground, but this is more serious. This has to do with Nigeria. We want to start from this country. I said, okay, God will see you through, sir. So he has a good intention to be more effective in the capital market.
So as it is, the politics and June 12, everything consumed him, even his business vision.
Yes.
In other words, we as Nigerians, we have lost so much that we could have gotten from him.
A lot we could have gotten. But unfortunately, politics robbed off everything from him. And it's regrettable. Because all the resources, all the wealth he left, they have all went down the drain. It's unfortunate.
Thank you very much for coming for this interview.
Thank you, my brother. God bless you.
I've been speaking with Mr. Samuel Olayemi.
Reverend.
He was the investment advisor to late Chief MKO Abiola, and indeed also a council member of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. He served along with the late Chief MKO. So he knows so much about the late philanthropist and politician.